Hey everybody, it's Ryan here with the PoKeMaiNE-TCG. Today's video is all about selling your cards on eBay and how to do it the right way. Stay tuned. Alright guys, so for whatever the reason may be, you decided to sell some Pokemon cards online, on eBay. Specifically, that's what I'm talking about today because that's what I did. I'll show you guys up here, but I have been selling on eBay for about a year now. I'm a trusted seller. I've got multiple star ratings. I've got near 100% feedback. I've got 5-star ratings in every single category. I've sold thousands in singles and I've got over 300 or 400 transactions. So I've definitely put the time in to learn this method. And if you guys are looking to make a little bit of side income, or let's say money's tight and you need some money for bills, offloading your collection is a great way to be able to bring in some capital quickly. So let's jump right into it. I personally have a few different types of methods for the way that I like to package and ship my cards on eBay. First and foremost, I'll make a whole nother video about how I list them, how I do my descriptions, and all of that. But specifically today, I'm making a video for a really cool young man that I met on eBay. Actually, his name is Ethan, who asked me for some tips and pointers about how to package, how do I ship and package, and have the feedback and a lot of the ratings that I do, because packaging is among my top priority and people kind of rave about the way that I send my products. So I know that it works. So whenever we're talking about sending your cards, first of all, we have to think value, right? Let's break it down into a few different groups. $0 to $20, okay? You're automatically thinking of this. And you're probably like, wait, what? Yeah, standard, regular envelope, okay? Standard envelope. Very simple, very thin, very sleek profile. And we're talking along the lines of something like this, okay? Semi-rigid card holder or top loader. You can get away with either. What I personally recommend is that you put it in some sort of a team bag, so like this. And what I traditionally like to do packaging wise, I'll show you guys in just a minute, but that's like $0 to $20 category, because you can ship with the eBay standard method. You're going to give you a shipping label just like this, okay? And that is going to cost around 69 cents to send a card, because you can list it for 1 ounce for your package weight, and that only costs you 69 cents, which is to ship. So $0 to $20, that is my standard of choice. eBay standard shipping method, because it also has a loss or replacement guarantee. So if it gets lost in the mail, something happens, eBay will traditionally cover the card up to the value. So if the buyer says that they lost it or it never came in the mail, you're kind of covered on that end. I will say one downfall with that method is sometimes the tracking number, because you can see there is a tracking number that's provided up there. It isn't always accurate. It doesn't always track in real time. Okay, so sometimes cards that may have arrived won't actually say delivered, so it can be kind of cumbersome at times, because people claim they haven't received their cards yet when they may have actually received them. So I've had quite a few cards claim to be lost in the mail doing this method, so I have to think that there's some human involved in that. So when we're talking that $21 to, let's say, $99 or $100 range, I traditionally like to go with bubble mailer. Okay, bubble mailers are really great, because you can fit, for example, single slabs, and then no problem. You can fit them both directions actually, so you can fit them long ways, or you can fit it sideways. And then if you wanted to go like for double chest protection, you can wrap up the bubble mailer in half and then kind of seal it closed that way. I have seen some people do that. My personal preference, because the sideways profile is a little bit tight, I like to take a smaller bubble mailer traditionally, like when we're talking a higher value slab or something like that, but we're still not quite at $100 range. I'll take that, put it inside of a smaller one, and then take a smaller one, put it inside of a bigger one. The packing slip I have, fold that up, put it in there, seal it up, label goes around the front, away it goes. Never had a problem. Double bubble is a good kind of like nickname and a way to just kind of remember that method. 21 to 100, double bubble that. Double bubble that. People really appreciate the effort with double bubble mailers, and in fairness, they're not that expensive. You can get a pack of, I think, 20 of these at Walmart for like, $2.99. And then when you're talking these smaller ones, you can get these in bulk on Amazon for, really reasonable prices. So that's what I try to tick to. Anything that's over 100, okay? We're getting into like, premier value cards, chase cards, right? Like the top cards of a set. Let's get them in a small box, guys. Not expensive. Again, you can get small boxes in bulk on Amazon for not very expensive. And the great thing about a situation like that is you can take your slab, right? You can get it into a bubble mailer. You can get you some extra packing materials. And who doesn't love a good dollop, handful of packing peanuts in the bottom? Bam. And I'll show you guys over the top too what this looks like in a second. But bam, packing peanuts, right? You get your packing full rebuilding, put it in there, seal it up, send it. Light, very cheap, very, very effective way to mail something, but it's inside of a bubble mailer. There's also packing peanuts in there. You get the packing slip. Just a really professional way to kind of send the cards. Last but not least, if you're talking about multiple singles, let's say more than just one card, but like they are not super high value. So let's say you're sending like, 10 or 12, $14, $15 cards, intermediate value. The cumulative total of your order should ultimately dictate how you send them. That's a good rule of thumb for me. So if I have like 5 or 6 cards and they're only like, $10 a piece, I'm in that 20 to 99 range. I'm probably going to try and get those multiples into a team bag. With a little thank you something from me. Maybe a little extra in there, right? Bubble mailer 1. Bubble mailer 2. Packing slip, seal it up, tape it closed, send her on down the road. It's that simple. The cumulative total of the order dictates the method in which you send it. I'm not an expert, but I have 100% satisfaction in regards to sending my products to people. My cards always get there safely. People always rave about the way that they arrive. So I hope that this helps you. I'll show you a little over the top view now of how I actually package an order, a legit one. And then you guys will kind of understand how we do it. All right, everybody. So this is where we're going to print our shipping label from. This is an actual sale here. You always want to print a packing slip. I'll explain that in a little bit, but this is a necessary piece of my process. Just a professional look, just going through the clicks here, printing that. And then this is where I actually go through the weight. I'll actually identify 3 ounces there. I've got my package presets there. This is where I select my shipment date. I always get the package shipped same day, goes out the next day. This is how it's kind of pre-programmed, but I usually create my labels within a few hours. Ground advantage is the preference. Usually looking at like between $4 and $10, depending on where we're shipping. I usually always try and put some sort of, caps lock. I usually always try and put some sort of, thank you or something like that in there. I always do the printable, not a QR code, and I purchase. Now we're just going to print this thing. Alright, so let's say we're trying to go eBay standard method. Okay. Here's an example. I always like to just go ahead and trifold on this. It just helps with presentation and then packaging on the card. It also adds an extra layer of just some cushion. Okay, so next we've got shipping label. You're gonna want to cut this to the margins. So now, let's say that that's our package, or you know, it could be if that were the case, right, in a team bag. What we're gonna do, what I like to do, is take this, put it right in the middle of that, just like that. Okay. Some people will take a small piece of tape and put it there. That way the card doesn't shuffle, right, side to side. But because you're putting it inside of that team bag, it's got nowhere to go. It's really not going to move too much. I think you guys didn't have any safe. Because like I said, this works for me all the time. So what I usually do is I just go ahead and, you know, seal that up. And then I like to put this on this front side. And then I take straight up packing tape. That's my preference of choice. And then run it across, laminate it. Seriously, do it. You're not gonna hurt nothing, okay? Some people like to put this on the back and actually tape this like over that, right? You could do it that way if you want, and then leave the backside completely exposed. But that's how I send all of my 0 to, you know, $20 orders, and I never ever have any complications with that method. I never get them sent back. The one thing you have to be careful of is that you don't do more than one top loader, okay? Because you don't want to be trying to squeeze too many of those in there. Now, you can fit 2 or 3 of these, which is nice, because that's why I like these, you know what I mean? And then this also gives you an extra layer of cushion. Some people will take like a small piece of like firm cardboard, like some of these, and they'll put, you know, like these with it. So there's many different ways to go about this. You'll find a method that works for you the most, but ultimately, let's do a real one. Yeah, let's do a real one. So this is the actual packing slip for this. So I'm going to show you just how I would do this. So I'm going to cut this person's label out, and you'll notice this label is a little different, has a QR code on it, etc. That's because the shipping method for one like this is Ground Advantage. It's going to cost in between, you know, $4 to $10, kind of depending on the package size and where you're sending it to. But if you're doing one graded card, whether it's in a bubble mailer or if it's in a small box, I will say that 3 ounces, 3 to 5 tends to be safe bet. Never gonna run into any issues there. Excuse me. So I always get myself a team bag, a graded card such as this. I'm gonna put that right in there, just like that. And because this is quite a high value card, we're gonna do a little something extra. We're gonna obviously throw one of these in here, because this means nothing, right? Who are we? Not that big of a deal. There's more to it than just this. So this really helps me to just kind of grow my channel, my brand, who I am, just a little bit. But this part, anyway. I really like to just a small touch, just to let people know that like their purchase really means something to me, you know. My wife and I were in a tough spot last year, which is ultimately why we started selling my collection in the first place. And I don't have much of my childhood collection anymore. Sold them all. That's okay, because my collection has kind of started anew. And a lot of the tactics and the things that I learned along the way have been super beneficial to us over the last year and have helped us financially quite a bit. So I'm very grateful to Pokemon and all the stuff I've learned over the past year. And it makes it fun, you know, to kind of give it back. So that's a sealed package for me, and this is actually going out. This is a sale tonight. Money from my family, and I hope they enjoy. I really hope that they love this card and it brings some happiness to their collection. This is a tough one for me to let go. Blastoise, Charizard, and Venusaur are my top three. So hope they love this. Hope they like the extras. I hope that they find that this is well presented and packaged for them. I am going to put this inside of here for a little double protection. We're going to go ahead and add our first piece of tape onto that. Okay, and then what I would do is take this and put this with it. And because of the type of order that this is, you already know it's going in a box, just like that, because the card sale was for well over $300. So I gotta get the real slip in there, guys. That's what it looks like. Package slip is in there, more package in there. We're gonna go ahead and put a reinforced piece here. Keep that nice and smooth. New label will go over just like that. We're gonna tape right over it. Okay. For privacy reasons, I'm not gonna show you that process because I don't want to tape this on there. I'm gonna show. Alright guys, that's everything I've got on packaging up orders and safely shipping out your eBay card sales. I hope that this kind of helped you, Ethan. I hope that this specifically helped you, man. If this content was, you know, useful to you guys, and if you have any suggestions for me, please mention it down in the comments. I really appreciate this as I'm new and I'm starting up with this. I'm going to be doing a series on how to, you know, be an eBay seller. So this is probably the first of that saga and series. So if there's more you guys are looking for or tips, please ask me. There's never been a better boom or a better time in the TCG space to kind of invest in yourself or go this path if you want to. So if I can help in any way, please, you know, like this video if you enjoyed it, comment below so we can engage and chat, and please consider subscribing to my channel and following me on Instagram. Again, my name is Ryan and I am the PoKeMaiNE-TCG. Thanks for tuning in, guys.